Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go. I got him. Double tight, double tight. Double tight. Hey, even. 4 down. Even. No. Off.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Flare. Hey, watch it. Slam.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Bridgewater. That's caught by his
Was?
Mike Gesicki.
Ich dachte, der geht ins Aus. Mann.
First down on the 14-yard pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
47's the mic.
Back to the ground on first.
Vanilla knapp vorbei.
He's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Bridgewater. Buying time to his left.
Mann!
And this is going to be another first down as they make the tackle at the Broncos 33.
I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside.
Fangen Sie mal bitte den Ball.
Oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Bridgewater.
Wow, was für ein Safe, ey. Safe. Good, ey.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
We got this. Ready? Choose the mic. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh.
Brissett to throw on first.
Oh,
Team, and it's intercepted.
das ist ein guter Anfang,
Picked off by
Alter.
the linebacker, And now look at this. Big
Fumble, ja! Ja!
And this is going to get through the end zone, and that will go as a
Geil.
turnover
Oh,
as the defense
Touchback.
will get it at
Puh.
the 20-yard line.
Puh. Oh, Glück gehabt, ey. Puh.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Gotta laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like,
So.
can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play
Wurden
now.
schon mal
Let's just start
verschont.
over. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row.
Was mache ich wieder? Was spiele ich
He's
wieder
got to
für
start taking
Rotz?
care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Das gibt's doch nicht.
Traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan.
Was mache ich, Platz?
He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he's touchdown.
Alter.
Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
So,
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Keep playing hard.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Lindsey, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll try and run for him.
Come on.
That one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. On 4th down on is Colby Wadman now to punt. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
Grauenvollen Anfang kann man sich schlecht ausdenken.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really
Alter!
Prob on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there,
Camilla
not
kommt nicht mehr
there.
dran.
After
Chip
about
kommt
the
nicht
3rd
durch,
one, he
Alter.
decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it.
Alter, der geht mir auf den Sack damit. Ich hasse das.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. To throw, Bridgewater.
Endlich mal.
The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Clark. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10, just outside the 30. The throw here going to be complete to Gordon.
Oh, ganz 2 Yards, Alter. 13 Yards, Alter. Schon 2 Interceptions. Meine
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. To throw is Brissett. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Heuerman. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because
oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
The kick by McManus is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Go!
From the 30 on 2nd down. Bridgewater. Oh, it's a screen pass.
Da tackelt den doch mal von hinten jemand.
Right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Bridgewater.
Ach, ich war doch da, meine Fresse.
And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 35.
Gestoppt.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. 45.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see...
Jawohl!
Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Bradley Chubb in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Oh. Ja!
And no, it doesn't. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll run on 1st down. It's Clark. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
Here's Brissett. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shoot.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Mike 20. Good track, good track.
Here's Brissett.
Oh my God.
Through the contact, it's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return.
Das war schlecht.
Position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face.
Ach, komm! Oh, wollte ich gerade sagen, Alter.
Try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Bridgewater. Able to find his running back, Geis. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any offense nowadays.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. To throw is Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing, Brissett. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Clark. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt.
So, nur Field Goals schaffe ich. Wann kommt erst der Touchdown endlich von mir heute?
As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Brissett. He completes this to
Glück gehabt wieder mal, alter Verwalter.
Sets him up better for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there
Ich
as
bin
they
so sicher
were able to
über den
connect.
Pässen. Das ist nicht gut.
On first down, Clark. And very
Ja, es ist kein Links. Ich vergesse das jedes Mal.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
59. Check pass. Check pass.
From the 44, Brissett got Gordon open, completes it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Third and short yardage, Brissett.
Ball!
And that is
Boom!
complete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync,
Man.
whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good
Ach,
drawing
die
toward the
Scheiße. Mann.
sidelines. That'll be out of
Oh
bounds,
doch,
and how
der ist
good
gut.
was that?
Der ist gut.
We'll say the 3-yard line. That's
Gut.
where they spot him.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. Now a short one to Gesicki. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Throwing, Bridgewater. And he finds Parker here, complete.
Mann!
Get him down up past the 15. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. First and 10 at the 18. And running the jet sweep here to Parker. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. It's Geis on the counter.
Ich kann mich nicht mehr umschalten.
That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run with Geis, and that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
He's coming. Check him. Check him. Wide. Get wide.
Now on 2nd and 13. Bridgewater. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Bridgewater to throw it. He gets it to Brown.
Da
Complete.
blickt
And this is going to be another
ich bin
first down as they'll
Scheißdreck.
make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Stop your whining.
From the 36, Bridgewater. And
Da ist mein Mann.
pressure getting to Bridgewater. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response.
Was? Alter, das ist doch ein Witz, Alter. Das ist so ein verfickter Witz, ey.
Dolphin first down.
Meine Fresse, Alter.
Oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This quarterback now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss
Das war so einfach.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
47's the mic. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Watch it. Hatch it.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Doppeljahr.
The Dolphins have a
Oh,
first
das
down.
unendliche Drive, Alter.
They can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, this is Geis. And he will be brought down.
Alter, was bin ich für ein Scheißdreck jetzt gerade in der Defense, Alter. Ich bekomme den Scheißlauf nicht gestoppt.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Geis, they'll try to run it. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check, 47.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
I'm going to run you over.
Bridgewater now. And this is Parker, complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch every...
Ja!
They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack. Sanders' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Kill. Defense wins championships, baby. Mike 20. I'm here all day.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brissett. James has got it. Complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one.
Ja!
Holding them down was paramount.
Guter
They can get it
Pitch.
done. Well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Brissett. This is the tight end Fant. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They run the counter. It's Clark. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful.
Das ist tödlich, blöd.
Get those first downs. Keep possession of the football.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
They didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there. Gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Man!
But not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Come off the ball hard. Safe. Check 3. Check 3. Watch switch.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. Now a short one to Gesicki. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The kick by Sanders
Es wird Zeit für
is
den
good.
ersten
And that'll push the lead up to 8.
Touchdown.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
There we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Switch up. Watch tight end. Even. 4 down. Even.
He'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That goes for a gain of 31.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Brissett looks to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. One score down.
Das ist 4.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Watch Mike. Rip right. Check.
Brissett to throw for it on 4th.
You're not ready.
And he's caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game. They'll try and run it in.
Nein!
And he is not going to reach the goal line. They were
Mann!
for it down 2,
Warum
but
passt
the
ich nicht?
defense rises to the occasion, and they hold on to their lead. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a cap on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football
Letzte
back.
Saison, Alter, wie der negative Bereich, wie der letzte. Oh
I
Gott,
know we
Alter.
brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know, this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Dolphins, they move back over 503-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.